cell phones, TVs, and computers now face a 10% tariff.
But if you're looking to buy any of these items, you still have some time before the price goes up.
The most expensive TV brand on our list ranked dead last, while a company you've probably never heard of just destroyed Samsung and Sony. If you're about to drop serious money on a new TV, this ranking will either save you thousands or completely shock you about which brand actually delivers. When you're shopping for a TV and your wallet feels lighter than a feather, Sanyo might catch your eye. These TVs sit on store shelves with price tags that make you do a double-take. Cheapest option? Usually, yes. Best choice? Well, that's where things get interesting. Sanyo TVs come with what you'd call no-frills features. The picture quality often looks like someone smeared Vaseline on your glasses. Colors appear dull, like watching a sunset through fog. Sharpness? Let's just say you'll be squinting more than you bargained for. The remote controls deserve their own comedy show. Press one button, 3 things happen. Press another, nothing works. Newer models somehow made this worse, not better. It's like they handed the design job to someone who'd never seen a TV before. Smart features exist, technically speaking. But streaming newer apps feels like watching paint dry in slow motion. Your favorite Netflix show might load eventually. Maybe, if the planets align correctly. Here's the kicker. Sanyo had the highest return rate among major US TV brands last year. That tells you something, right? When people are bringing TVs back to stores more than returning unwanted Christmas sweaters, you know there's trouble brewing. But Sanyo isn't the only budget brand struggling with quality issues. If Sanyo makes you cringe, wait until you meet Best Buy's house brand. Insignia TVs wear the crown for rock-bottom pricing. But there's always a catch when something's too cheap. Sure, you'll find a 65-inch Insignia for under $400 during holiday sales. Sounds amazing, right? Well, the sound definitely won't be. Most owners complain they can barely hear dialogue without cranking the volume to neighbor-annoying levels. You'll practically need a soundbar just to understand what characters are mumbling about. Then there's the build quality. These things feel like they're made from the same plastic as cafeteria trays. One slight bump and you're worried the whole screen might crack. The remote feels flimsy too, like it's apologizing for existing. But here's where Insignia really shows its budget roots. The smart TV features move slower than a tired sloth. Apps crash randomly. Menus take forever to load. And Netflix freezes right during the good parts of your show. Nothing kills binge-watching momentum quite like staring at a spinning loading wheel for 30 seconds every time you pause. The weird part is, people keep buying them anyway. Price wins over performance every single time at Best Buy. However, some budget brands actually manage to deliver decent quality without making you want to throw the remote at the screen. After dealing with Insignia's plastic build quality, you'd think moving up the brand ladder would solve everything. Well, Philips has something to say about that assumption. These TVs look fantastic sitting on your entertainment center. The design team clearly knows what they're doing. Sleek bezels, premium-looking stands, the whole package screams quality from across the room. But here's where things get tricky. That gorgeous display starts showing its age the moment you flip it on during daytime viewing. The screen brightness simply can't compete with modern standards, turning your living room windows into the enemy. Got afternoon sun streaming in? Good luck seeing anything clearly without drawing every curtain in the house. Then there's the tech situation. While other brands keep pushing newer display technologies, Philips seems content living in yesterday's specifications. Makes sense, right? Why innovate when you can coast on good looks? The smart features work. Sometimes. Your Netflix might load perfectly for months, then suddenly start acting like it's running on dial-up internet? Software updates? They arrive when they feel like it, then mysteriously stop coming altogether. And the weird part is finding replacement parts. Break something on your Philips TV in America, and you'll discover why repair shops give you that particular look of sympathy. Sharp takes this living in the past concept to entirely different levels. Remember the good old days when Sharp was the king of picture clarity? Well, those days are collecting dust like your grandmother's china cabinet. Sharp built their reputation back when big-screen TVs weighed more than a small car, but their current offerings tell a different story entirely. The most glaring issue? Motion blur during sports and action scenes that makes everything look like it's underwater. Try watching a football game, and you'll spend half the time squinting to figure out where the ball actually went. Makes sense, right? Not really. Then there's the freezing problem with their smart TV platform. Switch between Netflix and YouTube, and boom! Your screen turns into an expensive paperweight for 30 seconds. The weird part is that this happens with newer models more than older ones. But here's where Sharp really struggles: finding help when things go wrong. Their US support network has more holes than Swiss cheese. Need a repair? Good luck finding a warranty center within driving distance. Most customers end up shipping their TVs across state lines just to get basic service. Sure, Sharp TVs often show up on sale racks looking tempting with their low prices. However, those bargain hunters might want to pump the brakes. Even Sharp's newest models can't keep pace with today's picture quality standards, leaving you wondering if saving money was worth the headache. Speaking of headaches and inconsistent performance, Vizio walks into the TV store like that friend who always promises they'll show up on time but keeps you guessing. Sometimes they deliver exactly what you hoped for. Other times, well, you're stuck wondering what went wrong. Here's the thing about Vizio. They've mastered the art of making big TVs affordable. Finding a 65-inch screen under $500 isn't just possible. It's practically their specialty. Sounds pretty tempting, right? But there's a catch that'll make you scratch your head. Their quality control seems to have taken a permanent vacation. One Vizio TV might blow you away with stunning colors and crisp details. The next one, identical model and everything, could arrive with backlight bleeding that makes dark movie scenes look like someone's shining a flashlight behind the screen. Then there's their software updates, the gift that keeps on giving headaches. Users report their TVs working perfectly fine until an automatic update rolls through overnight. Suddenly, apps crash, menus freeze, and streaming becomes a test of patience. The real kicker? Those HDMI ports love playing hide-and-seek with your devices. Gaming consoles randomly disconnect. Soundbars stop communicating. And don't get started on the Wi-Fi dropping out mid-binge session. Yet somehow, Vizio keeps finding buyers drawn to those bargain prices. Speaking of bargains, another budget brand takes a completely different approach. Vizio might give you decent bang for your buck, but let's talk about Toshiba, the TV brand that's become Amazon's favorite budget buddy. You've probably seen those bundle deals where you get a Fire TV stick thrown in for free. Well, there's a reason they need the extra incentives. Toshiba TVs deliver exactly what you'd expect from a budget choice. Basic features that get the job done without any bells or whistles. The sound comes out softer than a whisper at a library, and the visuals look like someone dimmed the lights during your favorite movie. Makes sense why most people end up cranking the volume to maximum just to hear dialogue clearly. Then there's the remote situation. Sure, it's simple. Maybe too simple. While other brands are racing ahead with fancy voice controls and smart features, Toshiba keeps things old school. The weird part is how this actually appeals to some folks who just want to turn the TV on without dealing with complicated menus. But here's what really sets them apart from the competition. They're not trying to keep up with yearly model updates like everyone else. Energy-efficient models have quietly taken over their lineup, which means lower electric bills but higher chances of disappointment when you're expecting that cinematic experience. Speaking of disappointment, there's another brand making some surprising moves that might change your mind about budget TVs entirely. While Toshiba stays stuck in basic territory, Hisense is doing something completely different. They're actually getting better each year. Weird, right? Here's what's happening. Hisense grabbed attention by stuffing massive screens under $700. That 75-inch TV your neighbor bought? Probably a Hisense. But here's the surprising part. They're not just cheap anymore. Their U8N model delivers colors so bright and blacks so deep, it nearly matches those fancy OLED TVs that cost twice as much. Sports fans especially love this brand because the fast refresh rate makes action look smooth instead of blurry. No more missing that perfect touchdown pass because of motion blur. Then there's the catch. While the picture quality keeps improving, their smart TV features still feel clunky. Voice controls lag behind what you'd get with Samsung or LG. The apps work, but switching between Netflix and YouTube isn't as seamless as top brands. The weird part is their warranty service. In big cities, getting help is pretty straightforward now. But if you live in rural areas, waiting for repairs can take weeks. They're working on it, though. Hisense proves that budget brands don't have to stay mediocre forever. But speaking of brands that found their sweet spot, TCL took a different approach to the value game. While Hisense surprises people with decent quality, TCL takes the affordable but actually good game to another level. Their QM8 model has been collecting Best Value awards left and right for 2025, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. The real kicker is their mini LED technology. This isn't just marketing fluff. It actually delivers better colors and more accurate contrast than TVs costing twice as much. Your Netflix shows suddenly look way more vibrant without that washed-out look cheaper TVs are famous for. But here's the catch. TCL seems obsessed with bigger screens. Finding something under 55 inches? Good luck with that. If you've got a cozy apartment or bedroom, you might feel like you're buying a movie theater screen instead of a TV. Makes sense, right? They want to show off all that fancy picture tech. Then there's the smart TV situation. TCL runs on Google's system, which works fine if you're already in that ecosystem. But if you're one of those people who swears by Roku's dead simple menus, you'll spend the first week wondering where everything went. Gaming performance is surprisingly close to the big-name brands, though some users still complain about response times. Not terrible, just not lightning fast. Speaking of simple menus, one brand has mastered the art of keeping things stupidly easy. While TCL offers solid value for bigger budgets, some folks want something even simpler. Enter Roku TVs, the brand that figured out streaming before most people knew what it meant. Roku's biggest win? Those menus actually make sense. No hunting through 17 subfolders to find Netflix. Everything sits right there, organized like your grandmother's spice rack. Clean. Logical. The remote has a Netflix button that works every single time. Revolutionary stuff, apparently. Their Pro Series QLED surprised everyone by delivering picture quality that rivals TVs costing twice as much. Colors pop without looking like a candy store explosion. HDR works smoothly across different streaming services, which sounds basic, but you'd be amazed how many brands mess this up. But here's where things get interesting. Roku deliberately keeps things simple, sometimes too simple. Want to dive deep into picture calibration? Tough luck. Looking for cutting-edge gaming features? Keep looking. They've essentially decided that 80% of people want a TV that just works without needing a computer science degree. The weird part is their target audience. Older viewers absolutely love Roku TVs because they're not constantly fighting with confusing interfaces. Younger tech enthusiasts? They often want more bells and whistles. Speaking of bells and whistles, some brands go completely the opposite direction, focusing on premium features that'll make your wallet weep. After dealing with brands that fumble basic features, let's talk about Panasonic. They're back in America, and honestly, it's complicated. The Z95A OLED delivers stunning picture quality. Colors look real, not oversaturated like some brands that try too hard. HDR performance actually makes movies pop without looking fake. When Panasonic works, it really works. But here's the catch. They disappeared from US stores for years. Now they're tiptoeing back with mostly high-end models. Want a basic 43-inch TV? Good luck finding one. They're pushing expensive, larger screens that cost serious money. The build quality feels solid, though. These aren't flimsy plastic boxes that'll break if you sneeze on them. Screen failure complaints are surprisingly low over the past 3 years. Makes sense, right? When you charge premium prices, you better deliver premium reliability. Then there's the support issue. Live in a major city? You're probably fine. But if you're stuck in rural Montana with a broken Panasonic, finding repair help becomes an adventure. Limited service centers mean longer waits and higher costs. The weird part is their timing. They return to America just as competition heats up everywhere else. Bold move or bad timing? Hard to say. Speaking of bold moves, Sony's been playing the premium game much longer. When people think of premium TVs, Sony usually tops the list. And honestly, they've earned that reputation. The Bravia series delivers those deep blacks and crystal clear motion that make movie nights feel like theater experiences. Well, almost. Sony's strength lies in consistency. Their TVs work seamlessly with Apple HomeKit and Google Assistant, making smart home integration actually smart for once. Gaming features get yearly updates, keeping pace with PlayStation and Xbox demands. Makes sense, right? Sony knows gaming better than most. But here's the catch. You'll pay for that reliability. A decent 55-inch Sony starts around $1,000, sometimes more. That's double what you'd spend on budget brands we covered earlier. The weird part is, some people gladly pay extra just for the Sony name. Motion handling separates Sony from cheaper competitors. Sports look smooth. Action movies don't blur into pixelated messes. Their processing chips work overtime to eliminate judder and stuttering. Then there's the color accuracy. Photographers and video editors often choose Sony for professional work. However, Sony's premium positioning means fewer budget-friendly options. They're not trying to compete with $300 TVs flooding the market. While Sony delivers solid performance across the board, one brand has managed to perfect the balance between cutting-edge technology and user satisfaction in ways that might surprise you. After slogging through 11 brands that disappoint in various creative ways, we finally reach the winner. LG takes the crown for 2025, and honestly, it's not even close. Their OLED TVs like the C5 and G5 deliver picture quality that makes other brands look like they're still stuck in 2019. Deep blacks that actually stay black? Check. Colors so vibrant they practically jump off the screen? Double check. The contrast is so good that watching a sunset scene feels like you're getting a tan. But here's where LG really pulls ahead of the pack. Their WebOS system doesn't make you want to throw the remote at the wall. App switching happens fast enough that you won't age waiting for Netflix to load. Even your tech-challenged relatives can navigate these menus without calling for help every 5 minutes. The gaming performance crushes it too. Sports look smooth. Action movies don't blur into abstract art, and everything just works the way it should. Makes sense, right? Then there's the reliability factor. LG scored the highest satisfaction ratings among TV owners over 55 in 2025. They also reported the fewest defects last year and offer solid warranty coverage. Sure, you'll pay more than bargain basement brands, but you actually get what you pay for. Revolutionary concept in today's TV market.